حي على الفلاح.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الدعاء مخ العبادة أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام وأعوذ بالله أن أقول عليه ما لم يقل صلوات الصادق الذي لا ينطق عن الهوى إن هو إلا وحي يوحى. My dear respected elders and brothers and sisters in Islam, indeed we have been blessed, indeed we have been favored, we have been given a very, very, very valuable ni'mah and a very valuable bounty. My dear respected gathering, before we go into that bounty, it is also extremely necessary and extremely important that on a daily basis a person goes through the ni'am and the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given to us. In that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has given us our eyesight. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla wa ala has given us our tongue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us our ears. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the air that we can breathe. And one is a person having the eyes, but another thing is the eyesight in itself. One is a person having the ears, but the ability to listen and the ability to hear, it's another thing by itself. Let alone being able to fathom and understand what is being said. These are normal bounties, my dear respected gathering, that is given to an individual, whether that person is given iman, the best of all bounties, or they are not given iman. Because iman and belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as the person who gave the announcement he mentioned, they are the ones who will be successful. But my dear respected gathering, do we really understand the people of iman? Just as a person today, they have some senior position. Like the example of the policeman, for example, that when there is traffic, everyone is complaining too much of traffic. Then we hear what? We hear the siren. Then immediately everybody parts and the policeman pass and traffic is closed. Boy, if I had a siren like that, I would have do this. Then I have nothing to do. Them just want to pass. This is what the thinking that is coming to the mind. My dear respected gathering, do we understand? Do we know that just like that, we have something? We have something because of being people of iman. Do we understand that there is a thing that we can do? That the Rasul of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he has given the ni'mah, he has given the bounty, he has given a special khasiyat, that the dua and the supplication of your ummah are like the dua of the anbiya of the Bani Israel. Subhanallah. When we raise our hands and we ask from Allah, when we raise our hands and ask from Allah, how many of us are aware that today is a very blessed day in itself? Last night, very blessed night in itself. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes something blessed, then what happens? Certain aspects or certain specialities is placed in that thing, whereby a person can gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ulama explain that there is a moment, there is difference of opinion exactly when it is, but there are moments in the day of Jumma There are moments if a person raises their hands and make dua, so long as it is nothing haram, or to break family ties, then what? That dua is probably guaranteed accepted, subhanAllah. Last night, my dear respected gathering, the night preceding the night of Jumma, very Mubarak and blessed night. Duas are accepted. During the month of Ramadan, angels are calling out, asking, is there anyone who needs anything that we may give them what they need? Is there anyone wanting forgiveness that we may grant them forgiveness? Allah is begging us to ask. My dear respected gathering, just imagine. Today sometimes it happens that a person is in need of something. They go and they approach an individual once. They approach him twice. They approach him a third time. Then what happened? I said, that person is not a ghost. Every time this man come in, we need now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves when we ask. Allah loves when we ask from Him and gets annoyed and get vexed. Even doesn't even accept those amals and those deeds that when it is done with the association with someone else, when we ask someone else without asking Allah, He gets vexed. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My dear respected gathering, I ask every one of you here today, how did we come to know about Panadol, for example? How did we come to know of some medicine? How did we come to know that there's a good doctor over here? Or there's a good lawyer over there? Or there is something there's a sale in this part of the country? Or there are some products that are selling cheap in that part of the country? How did we come to know about this? Speaking about it. Talking to one another about it. I ask you, my dear respected gathering, when last have we reminded ourselves of the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When last have we reminded ourselves of the value and the bounty and the reality of dua? As the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he informs us and he tells us, ad-dua mukhul ibadah. Dua, it's the essence, it's the core, it's the center point. As I say, it's like the nucleus, the powerhouse of ibadah. It surrounds everything else comes out from it. When we perform salah, the Rasul of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam informs us that ayyu dua asma, which dua is most listened to, most readily accepted, fi jawf al-layl al-akhir, the best. We know it's the best tahajjud time. Waking up in the night, crying, putting our situation before Allah. My dear respected gathering, today it happens, may Allah forgive us, that if a person is aware that I need to go at some place, I need to be at some place in a certain time, whether it be 2 o'clock in the morning, whether it be 1 o'clock in the morning, whether it be in the wee hours of the morning, that for my worldly benefit, I need to go at this place and I need to be there. Sometimes not only 2 o'clock he is there or she is there, before that also we are there. Preparation is made weeks in advance, days in advance. I need to go to sleep early so that I can get up. But my dear respected gathering, we are complaining that my situation is not getting fixed. I have this to do and I have that to do and I need this and I need that. And we are asking from everyone except the one who wants us to ask from him. We are asking from the one who is what? We are asking from the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala qadirun ala kulli shay. He is the one who is in charge of everything. He is the one who does everything. He is the one who what? وَمَا يَسْقُطُ وَرَقًا, not even the leaf falls. إِلَّا يَعْلَمُهَا, that He is aware of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala فَعَالٌ لِمَا يُرِيد, He does whatever He wants. Ask from the one who is able to accept our dua. Ask from the one whose treasures, it comes in the hadith of the Rasul, a very lengthy hadith, when the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he mentions, he says that if it were to happen, that the entire of mankind, the entire of jinkind, from the first of them to the last of them, were to stand on one plane, Sa'idan Wahid, one plane, and they were to make dua and ask from Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would grant it to them. Then this would not even remove from the khazana, the treasures of Allah, not even to that extent. If a person were to take a needle, or they were to take their finger, they were to put it into the ocean, that water that remains, not even to that extent. That needle, that water that remains, not even to that extent, is diminished from the treasures of Allah. Subhanallah. What an Allah. Do we think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is incapable of sending a loaf of bread our way? Subhanallah. Or do we think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is incapable of giving us a house in this world? Ajib, strange. Do we think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is incapable of curing some illness that is there? My dear respected gathering, what are we doing? نحن قوم أعزنا الله بالإسلام. We are a nation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us izzah and honor by Islam. Just as that policeman, if there is an emergency there, that he takes even going up the highway, he takes the emergency exit and takes the route, because it's part of the job description. Asking from Allah, it's part of our job description, my dear gathering. Being from the ummati of the Rasul, can a person be in the ummah of the Rasul and not ask from Allah? Strange. My dear respected gathering, but what has happened is that anytime something, we are not speaking about it, we are not talking about it, we are not reminded of it, then eventually it becomes faded out and eventually forgotten. We look into the life of the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We look into the life of the Anbiya alayhi wassalam. Look how their du'as was accepted, and so far our minds have carried us. So much the world has corrupted our minds and our hearts that we look at these things and we think fairy tale. Na'udhu billah. We look at the story of Musa alayhi salam and we think, oh, what a fairy tale. That's just, We look at the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam and what we say, as we say, stories of the Quran. These was the realities of dua, my dear respected gathering. Allah is showing us the realities of dua, the capability of a dua. The Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Battle of Badr is about to take place. He's making dua, he's crying. Two persons standing on the mountain, the qudra and the power of dua. They are seeing like the angels, they are coming down. One of them immediately he passes away. Next one he embraces Islam afterwards. The power of dua. How many times it happens in the life of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, that they raise their hands and make dua. One Sahabi comes home, ask his wife, we read it in the ta'aleem, but is the reality, do we really digest and internalize these information, my dear gathering, or is it just for entertainment? Are we just here to be entertained? My dear respected gathering, understand very well that success lies in deen, lies in Islam. No doubt about that. If we put 10% of deen and 10% of Islam in our lives, we will be successful 10%. If we put 20% in our lives, we will be successful 20%. If we put 50%, we will be successful 50%. And if entire deen comes in our lives, then we will be successful 100%. You choose. We choose how much deen we want to put in our lives. Just like we choose how much of dunya we'd like to put into our lives, how much days and nights I'm going to work and earn that money, we need to also take check of how much deen we are putting into our lives. Just today, as a person, he starts up in kindergarten, he goes into primary school, then secondary school, gets a degree, look for a job, all in the mindset, all in the vision of what? Stability, financial stability. My dear respected gathering, have we ever thought about Islamic stability? Deen, stability with regards to our deen, stability with regards to my 5 times salah, stability with regards to asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, stability with regards to my month of Ramadan that has just gone, stability with regards to those actions or those amals that what I would like to inculcate in my life after Ramadan. Stability of deen is very, very important. For when the person dies and they leave this world, how valuable even is dua. And when a person leaves this world, amongst what they call sadaqatul jariyah, those sadaqah, those rewards that are going on, would be someone, so when somebody leaves back a pious child, that may raise their hands and make dua for them. But are we training our children in that line? Are we training our generation in that line, my dear respected gathering? Do we speak about dua? Do we speak about the greatness of Allah? Do we speak about the reality of dua? Do we speak of the effects of dua? Then my dear respected gathering, I ask you, how will we get the reality of dua? I'm not speaking about dua. I'm not talking about dua. I'm doing even the word dua. It doesn't even, very rare it comes up in my vocabulary. I'm not talking about the quwwah, the strength of it. I'm not talking about the virtues of it. Why should I do it? I'm not talking about the effects of it. Then my dear respected gathering, how is it possible for this to come into my life? Why would I raise my hand and make dua? And this is the reality, my dear respected gathering. نحن قوم أعزنا الله بالإسلام. We have been given so much izzah and honor because of Islam. So much gifts are there. Our salah, ad-dua. We have been given so much. So much. The cure to world poverty lies in Islam. The cure to world hunger lies in Islam. Financial stability lies in Islam. We have just thrown it to the side. We just thrown it to the side. We are not even making dua. Oh Allah, help my mother. Oh Allah, help my father. Oh Allah, help my son. And they are alive. Subhanallah. Oh Allah, my neighbor, he's going through some sort of difficulty. Oh Allah, you help him. Oh Allah, my neighbor, I am not really happy with his conduct. Oh Allah, you give him husn al-khuluq. Only time we use dua is for bad dua. You break your foot. This happened, that happened. Astaghfirullah. Where is the rahmatul lil alameen? Where is the mercy that the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he brought, that his feet would become swollen, making dua for this ummah. Oh Allah, guide my ummah. Oh Allah, my ummah, my ummah, my ummah. We are not even making dua for ourselves. We are only making dua for ourselves, sorry. We are not even making dua for our family members. We are not even making dua for our siblings, our brothers. My dear respected gathering, today it happens that a person, he sees a clip in the news of some tragedy or some hardship happening in the masjids in different parts of the world. And they think, oh, we need to make dua for these people. Where is this happening? I ask, where is this happening? It's happening in a masjid. These people are being persecuted. They are going through all these hardships because they are in the masjid. Yet I am running away from the masjid and saying that we need to help these people, we need to do something. How strange. One person, he came back from Umrah a couple before Ramadan. He says that prior to this, he had the opportunity to visit Baytul Maqdis. Speak with one of the person, he says that they know that here what, they are being requested, here what, I'm going to give you a blank check. Put whatever number you want, blank check, give us the property. They will never write their names on it. Why? Because they love for Iman, love for Masjid. One person signed because he know the next day or the next week they are coming, they're going to take it anyhow. They're going to take it. The smart thing to do, a person says the smart thing to do is just, at least we'll get away with something, write something there. Because the next week or the next day or the next month, they're coming to take it anyhow. One person, he writes. Up till today, that person is remembered by name. That this person, he took that offer. He took that offer. My dear respected gathering, where is our strength? The deen. Where is our strength? The holding towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. During the month of Ramadan, so much was done, mashallah. The month of Ramadan is done. It is the same Allah. The same Allah, we raise our hand in the khatam dua when the Quran is completed during the month of Ramadan. It's the same Allah that is there. Rahmatullah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's rahmah, it encompasses everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants to give us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants to forgive us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even says in the Quran, when my slaves and when my servants, they raise their hands and they ask of me, إِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِ عَنِّي, when my servant, they ask from me, فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ, I am near to them. With regards to knowledge and understanding, I know that they are there. I accept their dua. Allah wants to accept our dua. My dear respected gathering, just so that we understand as well, dua was extremely, extremely important. It's not the full stop. The Rasul of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he made dua. The angels were coming down in the battle of Badr. Yet, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they still had to go. They still had to go and do the physical. And they would say that before we even done anything, this person is down, that person is down. Musa alayhi salam makes dua. He still, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells him, go and just hit the ocean. He still had to do something, do what is in your qudrah, what is in your ability. A person don't just stand up and say, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, and do nothing. One person, he says very interestingly, he says that today we understand, everyone here understands that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Razaq. Allah is the one who provides. At the end of the day, Allah is the one who provides. Yet still, we put aside 8 hours of our day. With the support that Allah is Ar-Razaq, we put aside 8 hours of our day, approximately, some more, some less, to gain our sustenance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala definitely can solve every single problem. But my dear respected gathering, this is the world of asbab and this is the world of means. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, He can do it without the means, but it is something rare. Allah doesn't do it without the means just so. We need to do what is in our means, what is in our capability. Musa alayhi salam, a person logically, imagine if a person is thinking about it, he is thinking that someone is coming to fight you, someone is coming to end you. You have a stick, this is the only weapon you have in your hand, a stick. Why would you go and hit the ocean? Go and fight the guy. Logically a person is thinking like this, no. Success lies in deen. Success lies in deen. One Sahabi radiallahu anhu, he comes home, he asks his family, he says, is there anything to eat? He says, is there anything to eat? She says, no. He goes back to the masjid, makes wudu, 2 rakat salah, makes dua, oh Allah, you sort out my means, you sort out my sustenance. Comes home, is there anything? 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends means from unseen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends the means from the unseen. Subhanallah. My dear respected gathering, we are not required to they step under water, for example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has created means around us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed things around us. And it is so easy. But my dear respected gathering, it is very, very important that whatever we do, even though that we know that we don't know 100%, we have that reliance that, you know what, if I would ask this one for some help, if I would just mention this to my mother or my father or my brother or my sister or my aunt, they would definitely help me. That's the connection we have. Still, we should pray 2 rakat salah and ask Allah. Pray 2 rakat salah and ask Allah. Is there anything to lose? Nothing to lose. Anything to gain? Everything to gain. My dear respected gathering, it is very, very important that whatever has been said, inshaAllah ta'ala, there's hope. There's some hope that we should try as best as possible, that we should put aside some time in our day, put aside some time in our day that for dua, specifically for dua and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And with this in mind, it is very important that we should find out what are those sunnah actions, how does a person make dua according to the sunnah of the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, how he made dua. How did the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam make dua? Was it no. Perform wudu. If we have the ability, perform wudu, perform 2 rakat salah, preferably in the masjid or someplace secluded. We make dua, raising our hands, giving tahmeed and giving praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sending durood al Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, making those du'as and those adiyas, those things that is connected to the sunnah of the Rasul, those du'as that are mentioned in Quran, mentioned in a hadith, asking for whatever we want in our language, it's okay. Allah understands all language. And ending our dua with hamd again and darood and what saying Ameen. And also with the conviction that our dua is accepted. And although we make dua for something, it doesn't mean that we just throw away the means. My dear respected gathering, utilize the means in a manner pleasing to Allah. Utilize the means in a manner pleasing to Allah. So my dear respected gathering, with these few words, inshaAllah ta'ala, my humble request is that, it be a means of benefit to myself, a means of benefit to all of us who are here, inshaAllah ta'ala. Wa akhiru da'wa and alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.